Hello. We're live. We've made some differences to our setup here. Of course, it can't be exactly the same way it was before, because today we had to uninstall OBS and then reinstall it, so hoping we definitely did quite a bit of testing in a couple unlisted streams that I listened to, and yeah, we're pretty pooped. We've been troubleshooting for many hours now, tearing our hair out, but want to at least get a stream in today. I don't want to be defeated by technical issues, so I don't want to miss a day streaming. So we've got some Noita here. It's a good game. It's a good comfort game for us. Big fan of Noita. So now that we've started the stream, we're just gonna double check here that it's running properly, and then post a link in our Discord. And then we'll begin if it's running properly. Appears to be running properly. Let's just post the announcement. Here we go. Without further ado, let's begin. Gotta remember where we're at here. All right. Yeah, now I remember. We've got a pretty good run here. Yeah, we got pretty lucky finding Deadly Heal, Boomerang, and Piercing Shot. If I remember correctly, we visited each holy mountain already, and now we're tunneling our way back up. Yep, this is the laboratory, so it's time for us to get out of here. Oh, it looks like we've already tunneled our way out, so just do that. And let's see. With the setup that we have, our next best option might be to go to the tower. I'm not sure we could easily fight the alchemist, although we do have a pretty large health pool. I'm sure if we're patient we can whittle him down. I think fighting the alchemist might actually be a lower risk than going into the tower with what we have. What we're also really needing is some good spells. So one thing if you're viewing that you may notice is that we've changed the audio from game capture to desktop audio, so you guys will be able to hear any notifications I get on Discord. You'll also hear the chat notification when somebody sends something in the chat. And I have it that way because I believe that our issues was actually because of the game capture, which is apparently in beta, so it would make sense that there may be issues with it. I tried really hard to pare down what the issues were with the audio, but ultimately I wasn't really able to isolate it, so I can only assume that it does appear to be gone since I reinstalled OBS, and that's really what matters. Didn't grab water. We got some blood here. Blood will do. Got stuck though. Oh, unstick me. Nice. Luckily the game has a built-in unsticker. You just press all your buttons enough and it'll delete whatever is sticking you there. I believe you can technically abuse that to tunnel through things in a very tedious way. I was noticing on the event that we had the other day that our audio was just did not sound very good, and so I went through the effort to try and fix the audio issues. So I redid my entire physical setup. I moved my PC to another desk so that it doesn't like reverberate off of my main desk. It did reduce background noise, but we also tried some other things, and I guess ultimately we flew a little too close to the sun, and we're experiencing those issues, so hopefully our audio doesn't sound worse than it did then. We're no longer using OBS's built-in audio filters. We downloaded Reaper, a plugin from Reaper, and we spent a lot of time yesterday figuring out how those work. Hopefully we've got it set up decently enough. we need some firepower. We'd really like to find a chainsaw. Maybe a damage plus. Alright, we have oil blood. Oil blood's good. Whoa. I don't know how we got knocked back that far. Somehow a Lukey managed to find its way all the way over here. There's probably an entrance to the Lukey layer from here. I did go a bit too far left. We have a personal fireball thrower. We'll just use that on the alchemist. Actually, I forgot that I grabbed that. That's really strong against him. We should do fine. I throw a digging bolt on this just so we have some digging, just a little bit of digging capability. We're kind of lacking that. reduce spread. Reduce spread can be pretty strong. You always want to have one somewhere. How did that frog lick so far? Explosive projectile can be very strong. But the way that it works, you can throw 2 of them onto any projectile and it will have a large damaging explosion. So just 2 explosive projectile modifiers and a spark bolt will one-shot most lower level enemies. It does like 250 damage in a big area. And because it's a spark bolt, it won't damage you either. For some reason, the explosion is still coded to be not damaging to the Noita. It's also a pretty safe projectile. Besides the environmental chaos that it causes. Did I not tunnel out of that? Might have to tunnel in if I didn't tunnel out in the first place. Hi, Ancient Gamer. I'm glad that you joined us. I don't ever really expect anybody to join the Noita stream, but I've been surprised each time, of course. You show up because you're just like a cool and supportive guy. And Empty's here too? You guys are the coolest. Seriously. Synth caps. Yeah, I thought about doing something like a synthetic or repo, and a couple people reached out to me when I asked who wanted to play repo, but ultimately, I'm pretty pooped today. I spent like, oh man, I started at, I spent like 5 hours trying to troubleshoot audio. I somehow broke the audio in my OBS and it was playing like extremely loud noises into my headset. Luckily it didn't go through on stream, so nobody watching got messed with it, but weather seems to be stuffing my net today. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. From the heat? Or did it suddenly start blizzarding there? Did it go from 120 degrees to 30 degrees in a day? Huh. It's so hot there, it's just melting the phone lines. That's wild. Merry Christmas. I'm melting your internet. How are you doing today, Hollow? Yeah, I would play synthetic, but I just needed something simpler today. Not that Noita is like simple, but it's mechanically simple. That's good to hear, that's good to hear. Yeah, I needed something this evening that I could just kind of... I've played like so much of this game, it's a comfort game for me, so I don't have to think about things too much, I kind of know what I'm going to do. It's very knowledge-based. I see, how are you doing, so... I'm not going to ask, yeah. Today was pretty tough. I spent... yeah. Can't tell you how many times I yelled at my computer monitor today, going, why? Because, I mean, usually when you're troubleshooting a problem, it's like, you know, you partition first, so you try and figure out what the general area of the issue is, and after like a ton of partitioning, it was just kind of random, and it was hard to test, and so it was just eating up a lot of time. Yeah, I guess partitioning didn't work, and so I was like, alright. I was sure I'd partitioned enough to know it was coming from OBS because the issue would immediately stop as soon as I closed OBS. So all I knew was that it was OBS, but couldn't partition further, so I just uninstalled OBS and redid my entire setup from scratch, which also took me some time. Like, I really didn't want to do that, but it did work, I think. I haven't had the issue again, so... yeah. I almost didn't stream tonight. Not gonna lie, but I didn't want to be defeated. I didn't want to be defeated by technical issues. I wanted to stream anyways. And I'd love an excuse to play some more Noita. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Noita's not a terribly popular game to watch, so it's not going to get me a ton of engagement overall, probably, but it's one of my favorite games, and so I'm going to do it anyways. I do like to do party games to engage with viewers more, but just didn't have it in me. Gotta run to this store. Good luck, man, good luck. And thanks for checking in on me. Really appreciate you showing up. I always love to see you guys. And how's my audio? Done a lot of things to the audio, including redoing everything, so... it sounded alright in my unlisted streams I was doing earlier, but... I'd like to know what you guys think. Is it like better or worse than it was before? Same? It's been fantastic. That's so good to hear. I was really hoping that at the end of the day I'd improved the audio and not just broken everything. Because at first that's what happened, everything just broke. It's like, oh, well. But at the end of the day, if my audio's effing fantastic, then great success. That's all we wanted. Ooh, that's a bunch of lava. Oof. I might tunnel through the lava anyways. At least over here, just to conserve my shots of black hole. Something died to the lava. There's probably a bunch of toxic rock up there now. No. What the heck? It's creating so much toxic sludge. And here's all the toxic rock. Something died. We're gonna go fight the Alchemisti. The Alchemist. Yeah, toxic sludge. One of the many hazards in Noita. I think it's supposed to represent like radioactive fluid without saying it's radioactive. Alright. We want to use personal fireball thrower on the Alchemist. But we're going to need to go back down a couple holy mountains to throw it on this wand here. So, we're actually going to go back this way till we reach a holy mountain that we can edit in. Thought I'd be able to edit these upper ones, but I didn't start black holing out of the mountains and preserving their wand tinkering capabilities until like mountain 4. We just got to run back down real quick so we can edit our wands. Eventually we'd like to get the Tinker with Wands Everywhere perk. It's the best perk. But the ones that we did get are pretty good, especially in the early game. Been having a lot of fun with the little amount of Civilization that I've played. That's another game I want to stream here. I've got many games I want to stream though, and one of our viewers, Gaffer, bought us 4 new games to try. I was very surprised. He sent me 4 new games as a Christmas present. Kind of him. I'm gonna have to try those out at some point as well. Still can't tinker with wands. Dang, I gotta go further than I thought I would. I'm quite sure the next Holy Mountain has an active wand tinkering zone now. That's all we needed to do. Do you mind not sniping me, sniper? Sniper, no sniping. Another spell we don't have yet is Teleport Bolt. We'd be moving around a lot faster if we had Teleport Bolt, but we haven't been lucky enough to find one. I won't say that we're generally unlucky though, because we got really lucky finding Piercing Shot, Boomerang, and Deadly Heal all at the same time. So we have a very effective healing wand. We also have already found Black Hole. The things that we really need that we're looking for are a Chainsaw, Teleport Bolt, and maybe like a damage up. so our overall damage output is somewhat lacking. Luckily, we won't need a lot of DPS to kill the Alchemist. He's actually pretty much immune to DPS because he has a shield that goes up for several seconds after he takes any instance of damage. The reason that we're bringing Fireball Thrower over to the Alchemist is because that shield only counts for projectiles that come from outside the shield. And so with Personal Fireball Thrower, he will kill himself by shielding himself. One of the easiest ways to deal with him. If you find a Digging Wand and a Personal Fireball Thrower modifier right at the start of the game, you can basically run straight left and go kill him. I know you like simulation games, Ancient Gamer. This isn't a simulation game like a supermarket by any means, but it is a simulator in the fact that every single pixel in this game is individually simulated, has its own physics and alchemy. It was this game was inspired by the old games that were called Falling Sands games. So there's a pretty advanced alchemy system in this game. As you can see, a lot of things react with other things. The water reacts with lava to create rock. Toxic sludge reacts with lava to create toxic rock. Those being some of the more uninteresting ones. But there is a full alchemy system, a bunch of different liquids that do things good or bad. There's a lot of systems in this game, actually. This wand building system, if it doesn't already look complex, it goes as deep as you want to go. I know a few useful wand builds and I can do basic wand tinkering, but there's some like real life wizards that take this whole wand system to the next level and turn it into like a programming simulator. They make wands that do really, really crazy things and showcase them on their YouTube channels. So between the fact that the map is actually massive and it's infinite in every direction with parallel worlds to the left and right and the heaven and the hell below, it's an infinite map with a ton of secrets and objectives and a story to uncover. It's actually secrets people haven't even found out yet about this game. We're always discovering new things with it. But yeah, between the wand building and the alchemy and all of the content hidden around the map, it's actually a really surprisingly deep game. I remember the first time I played it, I thought it wasn't too interesting. I was like, it's just like a side-scroller. But there's quite a lot going on under the hood. Unfortunately, we're out of black hole charges, so we're going to need to be strategic with how we reach the alchemist. Can I actually damage this at all? Okay, I can a little bit with these, which means I can hollow out a place to stand, like so. I believe. Be very patient. digging to the alchemist, I'm also going to have to be very patient. Yeah, I can do something like that. Hollow out a hole here we can stand in. At the top of this tree is also where they have the achievements as well. I can show you guys off my achievements. With the right spells and setup, nothing in this game is incredibly tedious, but we have yet to find some of those spells that make life easier, so gotta do some tedious things to go find them. Playing CSS while watching. What's CSS? Central Station Simulator, nice. I'm a big fan of simulator games myself. I haven't played ones like CSS, but the game I was mentioning last time I saw you playing that was pretty cool. I like Schedule 1. One of my favorite games is Bannerlord, which I've been playing the Mountain Blade series for the last 3 games. And that's like a whole... That game is actually several simulators in one, really. So it's it has like a real-time battle simulator. So you know, it like spawns in all of your troops, like 3D models, and you can command them, you know, assign them to groups, split the groups up, give the groups different orders, like to charge or to follow you or to stand in a place, and whether or not to raise their shields, stuff like that. So it's like a full like battle simulator, and you can like equip your troops with different stuff and assign commanders. But there's also an entire diplomacy simulation, and there's also a grand strategy war simulation. It's also got a market simulation. You can just be a trader in that game. You don't even have to participate in war. You can just run around and make a fortune buying and selling. It's like a sandbox simulation game. I always highly recommend Bannerlord, but it's that game has a lot of information in it, and so it's not for your typical player. It's definitely for people who like games that are deep. I do. I ain't much of a Candy Crush player. I'll take Noita over Candy Crush. We're almost there, I think. Part of the rock is a little thicker than it usually is. Maps are randomly generated in this game, so it's a little different each time. But usually there's just not quite as much before you can get to where you want to go here. But like I said, we're going to have to be a little bit patient just because we don't have all of the tools that we would like. We could have alternatively spent time looking for those tools, but I want to secure a source of black holes. And killing the alchemist gives you spells that lets you cast any spell an infinite number of times, even with ones with a limited charge like black hole. It can do a lot for you. Okay, this rock is thicker than it usually is. Sure, it's taken a while to get through. We'll get there. Jeez, maybe we should go back up and find a thinner spot of rock to try and tunnel through. Maybe it's like that meme where that guy's just about to hit diamond. Nah, I don't trust this spot anymore. Let's see if we can find a thinner spot. Just look around real quick. I usually tunnel through here, but I usually also have better wands by that point. Here we go. I think that just goes straight in. We could have just gone here in the first place. Need to be really careful. It's one of the most dangerous liquids in the game right there. We don't want to play with that at all. There we go. This guy's a pain. He protects other guys. It's really unfortunate when two of them stand next to each other because they protect each other. Ouch! Like this. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought there were two of them. Oh, there's three of them, actually. One of these guys can be damaged. Okay, we want to avoid that statue as well. Can't kill that statue either. Just kick us to death. No, there's another one. You know, we can also kill the alchemist this way. He can't damage the statue either, and the statue will kick him to death too. Where's his health bar? That's how we know he's close. But let's see if we can't break line of sight with this thing. I could give it away. I think we lost him. Right. Let's just tag the alchemist with one of these. I think we hit him. Maybe not. There we go. He'll just slowly die. Like so. Easy way to deal with the alchemist. Personal fireball thrower. Cast a copy of the last spell in your wand. That's pretty good. Don't want that. Cast the 2 following spells when cast. We like that. And we don't need this. We won't be able to throw these on our wand until we can tinker. But when we do, we will then have infinite black holes and infinite healing. And then we can pretty much go do whatever we want. Since we haven't found a chainsaw or a damage up, I think we're gonna go fight next the Wizard King, because he drops a neat little thing called Add Trigger. Add Trigger has a weird way of interacting with spells where if you don't give its Add Triggered projectile another projectile to trigger to activate, any modifiers in between become free. So we could basically throw every single type of modifier that we have on a projectile and cast it for no additional mana. Oh! Forgot those things show up once you go up the tree. Those darn things. Wizard King is a bit different than the Alchemist. If we were to tag the Alchemist with a personal fireball thrower, we'd end up dying, because he has a bunch of orbs around him that damage you when you hurt them. So, we didn't kill him in time. Eventually the fireballs would deal enough damage to us to kill us. But all we need is a wand with good DPS to deal with him, because he doesn't have the shield like the Alchemist does. We have okay DPS already. We'd like a chainsaw to give us more, but we should be able to deal with him slowly. Since we now have infinite healing, should be pretty safe. Infinite healing and a large health pool. He's not just gonna randomly kill us. He'll be able to tank some damage. Especially with stainless armor. Alright. So, we only need one black hole now. Has a copy of the last spell in your wand. Like so. Now we have infinite black holes. Cast the 2 following spells in your wand while cast. Now we have infinite healing. I'm going to run out the charge first, because it kind of messes with our, with the way that it casts. And it still has charges. We want that to be at 0. Oh, it doesn't have enough mana. Well, let's use the Gamma on it then. And we'll use Tau on the black hole. Now we're digging with style. And one thing I hadn't considered, an issue with killing a wizard is that we don't have a way to see inside of the wizard area. It's dark unless you have true vision. Worm's blood won't work either, I don't think. So we will instead go to the tower, which is the other direction, this way, to the left. Pick up a good wand. Maybe see if we can't find some spells. I don't care much about taking damage at this point now that we have infinite healing. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah. We got really lucky there. We almost got tagged by the most dangerous enemy in the game. Polymorph Wizard. That's how quickly a Noita run can end. You think you're invincible, you get complacent, you die to something you couldn't anticipate. Or rather, that you didn't anticipate. Truly, if you're aware of every danger in this game and play extremely carefully, you will not die. You will easily win. It's only ever hubris that gets you killed. Because the game's engine is actually very consistent. You're never going to die to some bullshit. It's always going to be your fault. We don't have enough damage to kill a lot of the enemies where we're going, so what we're going to do is just kind of run through it. With black holes at least. So. Honestly, I could just start going to parallel worlds. I'm going to go pick up that one first, but we have the things that we need to go parallel. Enough ambrosia to go through the wall of cursed rock, even without having teleport bolts, which normally you would need, but I have 2 full bottles of ambrosia. Going on alternate worlds is a very good idea, because you can find more perks. And perks are very good. might be remembering the shape of the map incorrectly. I'm pretty sure you just go all the way to the left here. Then you can go up until you get the portal to the tower. Oh, I think I remember what it was. You need to go down and to the left, and then up. Oh goody, around. Oh goody goody. A decent wand. The spells are useless. Here we go. Now it's going left. That's what we want. Just gonna skip these guys. Ouch. Skip you. That was the sound of a polymorph, so let's run away from that noise. Here's where we wanted to go. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Bada bing. There's the portal we're looking for. The tower. Right. Well, let's, as best as we can, skip interaction with any of these beasties here. And just try and blitz through this level. This area is basically a small version of the inverse of every other level. Is this guy gonna chain kill us? No, we have shield, we're good. Chain stun, I mean, and then kill us. I guess chain kill also applies because we have an extra life. Even though we're lacking some of our favorite tools, we have a pretty good build overall. Got a high health pool. We found a source of healing and a source of digging. An extra life, some resistances, some very good resistances. This is the last area. The hell? Somehow we dyed this wand black. Happens sometimes when you take explosion damage to change the color of your wand. Pretty cool, we got a stylish wand now. Let's see, usually we take Wand of Swiftness here. Wand of Multitudes can also be good sometimes. We'll take Wand of Swiftness. Welcome back, Empty. Cool of you to show back up. How Have you played Noita before, Empty Hollow? Or seen it before? Sorry, I called you Empty Hollow again. I mean, empty. I've seen some gaming channel play it before. Never went deep into it, right? That's the key word for this game. It's a very, very deep game. I only know of a couple YouTubers that are more knowledgeable than me, like Fury Forged. I've been playing Noita pretty consistently for years and done a lot of research, so I'm certainly one of the more knowledgeable players. But I gained that knowledge largely by watching the couple channels that do know more than I do. It's a pretty niche game. It's certainly not for everyone. It's very difficult and very knowledge-based. Unless you know a lot, you're unlikely to survive for very long. I probably died 300 times before I had a run that really went really far. And I've had another 300 deaths since then. When you die in this game, you go back to the very beginning. You don't keep anything. In fact, subsequent runs can actually be harder because once you unlock certain spells, when you go to find them again, instead of getting the spell, you end up just getting a heart instead. So, on a fresh save file, it's actually easiest to beat this game your first time around. Easier to go infinite. So Terraria is a simple version of Noita with building aspects. I would not compare the games whatsoever. The only thing that this game and Terraria share is that they're 2D. Besides that, there's not a lot that's similar. Yeah. I suppose you could say certain things are similar. They both have bosses, but Noita is a very, very, very different game from Terraria in general. I wouldn't say that people that enjoy one would necessarily enjoy the other, because they're not very comparable. Terraria is an adventure game, and Noita is a roguelike game. It's not an adventure game. It's not supposed to be a relaxing experience. Noita is supposed to... I know I say it's a relaxing experience for me, but it's because I'm a very experienced player. It's a comfort game. But Noita is supposed to... Noita's supposed to get in your head. There's a phrase for this game called getting noited when you die to something that you didn't see coming. It's supposed to be a challenge, not at all like Terraria. When you die in Terraria, you lose maybe the money that you had on you if you can't go pick it back up. When you die in this game, you lose all of your progress. The last 60 hours you put into your save file, gone. Bye-bye. Try again, bud. Where did that boss go? Come here. He's sitting in a way I can't damage him. No, I can't damage him with this wand at all. Have this one. There we go. Luckily I had just enough charges. Let's pick up, let's see, these two. Copy random spell thrice is an interesting modifier. Because of the way that drawing modifiers works in the hand of the wand, and we're getting into some advanced wand mechanics now, copy random spell thrice actually, surprisingly, only affects spells that come after it in the hand order. Which means that you can kind of manipulate it by putting it at the end of a wand and then putting like a damage plus after it, and then hopefully wrapping the wand as well with another modifier or anything that calls another spell. Which I guess you wouldn't have to put anything, but when you do that, you can essentially get 3 of just the modifier you want. So we can use both of these together and put random damage 3 times on a projectile. Random damage adds or reduces damage from a spell. So it can actually make your spell do very little damage, but it can add up to 15 or remove down to 10. So on average it adds 5 damage. And so especially when you're casting quickly, random damage is a general positive. I think we may actually have a high enough health pool to continue going this direction and quite possibly go to an alternate world. We have ambrosia, we have a respectable amount of health, and we have an infinite source of black holes, so it might just be possible. Worst comes to worst, we might be able to panic black hole and then shoot a healing projectile into it and out-heal the damage of the cursed rock. I'd really love a teleport bolt though. Walking places sucks. I'm used to having my tools. We have quite a lot of healing because of Deadly Heal. We'll tag ourselves with it, and it basically heals us for 3 health bars of damage. Piercing and a healing spell is very, very good. If you ever can put piercing on a normal healing bolt, that will also heal you for a lot. If you can stand on it. Because what piercing does is it makes it so that well, first off, it increases the lifetime of the projectile, but it also makes it deal damage every single tick that it's in contact with whatever it's supposed to hit, instead of disappearing the moment that it hits. So instead of applying once, it can apply like 100 times. Piercing is a very, very strong modifier. It's very good on offensive ones as well. If I was to put it on this wand, like instead of speed up, the projectile area teleport would put it inside of an enemy, and then it would hold it inside of the enemy while it continuously applies piercing, and it would essentially pretty much kill anything. But I'd rather have it on my healing wand for now. Here we are. We could go upwards to the gold biome and pick up 100,000 gold real fast, but I don't really feel like spending the time. We can get gold through other means. Let's see how quickly the curse drop damages us, so we can get a gauge on how easy it will be to survive going through. We do have stainless armor, but we also have oil blood, which is going to kind of cancel out that. Okay, well, it's not so bad, actually. Even if we are, yeah. So, we will use ambrosia. Oops. For as much as we can here, but we may not even need it to get through, to be honest, because we do have a large enough health pool to just kind of tank it. Let's get this oil off of us, though. Just gotta move around a bit to get this oil stain off. Plus an ambrosia. We have enough to spare, so. Oh, I forgot how quickly it disappears. We have plenty. Ideally, when you are going through this process, you have a teleport bolt, because when you teleport, stains don't remove like when you walk. So you only need like just a tiny bit of ambrosia to get through. We don't have one, so we're going to have to use a lot of ambrosia. That's okay. This is basically the only time we're going to use it, because chances are by the time we go to the next alternate world, we will have... We'll just be confident enough to just tank the damage. We'll probably find more sources of health. And possibly by then we will have made a hybrid wand that allows us to dig and teleport. So we can just kind of move around really, really quickly. Ideally. We'll see what we find. Ambrosia is relatively hard to come by yet. That being said, we're really lucky this run that we've already found 2 potions, and we actually have left a couple behind as well. It's certainly not too hard to find. When you're exploring, you're pretty likely to find ambrosia at some point. Okay, so... yeah. Alright, yeah, we do float on water, that's right. I was like... I'm used to having the breathless perk, which makes you just fall through water. And since we don't have a teleport bolt, it would otherwise, if we had breathless, we'd be immune to the water suffocation, but it would make it hard to cross this gap. Because we would just fall to the bottom of the ocean. We're going to tunnel through the ground on our way to the Holy Mountain because in parallel worlds, bosses spawn all over the place in the overworld, and we don't want to encounter a bunch of alchemists and wand connoisseurs. We're going to get murked. The wand connoisseur is particularly dangerous because he fires polymorph bolts. Polymorph bolts will turn you into a monster with 1 health. And 1 health is not very much. even end up using half of our ambrosia, which is surprising. This is the snowy chasm. We don't want to do anything here yet. We want more perks. That's why we came here. So goodbye, snowy chasm. Things we're looking for: chainsaw, damage up, maybe some more spark bolts. How big is the map? It's infinite in every direction. Yeah. There's a lot that's surprising about this game that you wouldn't know at first. It seems simple on its face, but there are quite a few very complex systems. Alchemy's pretty deep, but probably the most deep system is the wand building. Because what you're doing is programming, and people get really, really into the weeds on that, and they put together like these 30 spell wands that do a bunch of stuff that I couldn't even begin to describe or understand, that do very silly things. Like actual programmers, you know, programming. There are some interesting wand builds I know, but only because I learned them from somebody else. I don't know enough about code to really get into the weeds myself on building wands. Oh, he's angry. He's angry. Yeah, some guy built this wand where he uses like a crystal with trigger. You can't play because your mom grounded you. Oh no. What happened? Yeah, some guy built a wand that abuses like a crystal trigger, a crystal with trigger, and then like a deer koi that it like spawns, and then somehow it uses like a weird physics deal to like teleport the crystal to an alternate world, and then spawns like copies of yourself, and then like switches you with your copy in an alternate dimension, and then like explodes the crystals at once to like kill the deer koi. It's wildly crazy stuff, and it's like a wand with like 30 spells that allows you to instantly go to an alternate world. Is there a way to show you a video? If you like, you can, if it's like a meme that you wanted to share, you can post it in the memes in the Discord. If it's like a private video you wanted to send me, probably best not to. been working on TikTok for a little while, and I want to show you that. Oh, okay. If you want, you can find my profile through the Discord and show me your project. As long as it's not something extremely personal, I'd request that you not send me any personal information. Just because I know you're pretty young, and so much social media, I don't, have the Discord, I have to get it. I see. And besides that, I'm not really sure. Oh no! Oh no! I got distracted and hit the portal. Oh no! This just took us back to the main world. All of that time that we spent moving all the way out to the alternate world. Now we're back in the main world. It just teleported us back. I forgot about that. No. Thanks for the F. Oh, this is so sad. Alright, I don't want to make that trek again immediately. We kind of did it because we were already out there to fight that boss. But what we'll do instead is find a way to get there faster first, before we go on that trek again. And maybe do some wand building. We need to get back to a holy mountain that will actually let us tinker. The first few we deactivated, but we started tunneling through the holy mountains in order to make it so we could keep tinkering once we got to like the 5th level, so. Just gotta go down a bit. What does this one have? Nothing we really want. Probably not gonna play Rock for a couple days because I'm grounded. That's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate when your parents give you consequences as a kid, but I'll tell you something. As an adult, consequences are harsher than the groundings that your parents are going to give you. When you make a mistake interacting with somebody, you can get hurt a lot worse. If you piss somebody off when you're an adult, they might go around spreading lies about you and try and ruin your career, make your life a living hell. So it's best to learn how to get along with people in a safe environment, like with your parents, when the only consequence is getting grounded, and not your entire livelihood and lifestyle. Thanks, Empty. I do my best. Let's see. So, we're going to put random damage on... Let's move this stuff down here. So, let's do this. There we go. Or this. Or even... What's the cast delay on this? 0.13? Let's put reduced spread on this. Now this should be a wand that deals a pretty reasonable amount of damage. No statue there to test it on. And more if we put duplicate built on. see how much damage this one does. Oh. What are we thinking? Let's put these spells on the Wand of Swiftness. That's what we want to do. Much better one. We're not even using it. Now we can make something good. Ooh. Wow. Costs a little bit too much. But we can add manas on it. We already have 2. Oh yeah. It's what you call a machine gun wand. It'll probably not be quite as fast when we throw this on. But it will be sustainable. And it should deal pretty good damage. Yep, machine gun wand. They get faster too. Yeah. At some point we'll have a wand that fires every single frame. Can probably make it better. We have enough space here that instead of using quadruple spell, we can just use 1, 2, 3, 4, and that functions identically. But for less mana, 2 instead of 5. We only need 1 quadruple spell. We're holding on to 3. I try and avoid using them. In fact, we can maybe even make this one better. We throw these on here, but this there. Huh. Really thought that would make it go faster, but what we're suffering from, the reason why it's not faster is because these may reduce recharge time, but that's not our bottleneck on this one. It's actually cast delay. These don't reduce cast delay. They increase it. Even so, this one deals a lot of damage, because each time it fires, it's shooting 5 projectiles that either do 5 or 8 damage, plus an average of 15 each. So, should be doing quite a bit of damage. We don't need projectile area teleport on it. I'd like short-range homing, though. Let's get rid of glowing lance. We're not ever going to need that again. Don't need magic missile. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go looking for more spells. The best place I can think to do that, besides everywhere, is going to be in the Bungo Cavern, which is southeast of here. Because there's a lot of wands in the Bungo Cavern. I would go to the Wizard Temple, but we don't have a way to see in the Wizard Temple, unfortunately. It's too dark. can see we have more than adequate healing. We got very lucky. We actually found all the components we needed to make this healing wand in one magical temple. We got extremely lucky there. Get blasted. Ratatata. Went from a wand that had a DPS of like 77 to a wand that has a DPS of like 5,000. Okay, so we don't want to go more southeast, we want to go northeast from here. Soon enough we'll be building wands that have a DPS of like 1 billion. You can do some very silly things like duplicating a spell 1,001 times and giving each projectile like a million damage every single frame for a wand that has like actually near incalculable amounts of damage. It's too dark in here to see. Ah, but we have add light. I didn't realize that we threw add light. We should have put light on this one, but we do at least have a source of illumination. We need to be really, really careful here. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do is actually tunnel a bit underneath the biome to go find the Wizard King. This is the magical temple. It's kind of mixed with the Wizard's Den biome, which is where the Wizard King is. And it's going to be protected by some cursed rock, but not much. So again, the trick that we're using here to give this wand so much damage is using copy random spell price, but manipulating the wand cast so that it's not actually random. It only works, for some reason, on spells that come after it in the load order. So we can put it all the way at the end of the wand, and then put the spell that we want to copy after. And this is a reliable wand build, because when you go kill Komisuma's legs, which was that green orb that we fought, he will always drop these two, pretty much. I'm pretty sure it's 100% chance for both of them each time. So the landmark we're looking for is the orb room. The game will give us a notification when we get close enough. And that's how we know that we're reaching the area where the boss that we want to kill is, and he'll be northeast of there. we're getting pretty close. I might have misjudged. I'm south of here more. I'll make coffee real quick. Wait on me to engage, King. Alright, gotcha. I will. No problem. My pleasure. Witness me. Should we go down this far? Let's check. Okay. Go this far. I don't remember the wizard's temple being so tall. The wizard den, I mean. We might need to cut in sooner, because maybe the cursed rock extends beyond the boundary of it. Usually I play the game with a map and with Noiting, but I'm not using either for this stream. Just playing it raw. The way that a new player would experience the game. We went all the way past. More wizards on every side. Didn't want to enter here, but got lost. Oh man. This is no good. Uh-oh. Fire in every direction. No! Please! I beg of you. Please. I don't want to die. Where did he send us? Oh, oh. Welcome back. We're still trying to find where he is. I'm a little bit lost because I'm not using a map. We're playing very dangerously. We're trying to play safe by bypassing the dangerous area, but got lost on the outside. So. We really need to try navigating outside of here. We're really playing with fire by spending any time in here. Can't really see things well, and it's full of the most dangerous enemy in the game. Polymorph Wizard. Polymorph Wizard's gonna have an easier time killing you than the boss we're about to go fight. If that bolt that had just hit me had been from a Polymorph Wizard, we would be dead. Nothing that we really want. Might as well take it because we have a slot. The Switch Places Wizard is the reason why we weren't using that spell that could damage us before, because we'd swap places with him and then we'd get hit by our own spell. A lot of runs end that way. Never want your wand to be too dangerous to yourself. It's the quickest way to end your run is by killing yourself, really. going to be the most common way that you die. If you ever play Noita, you're going to kill yourself more often than enemies do. That's just the type of game that it is. Getting closer now. Here's the orb room. It means that the Wizard King is going to be not too far northeast of here. Blinded again. It's my least favorite wizard, man. I hate this dude. Get blinded for 13 seconds. Have fun with that. Extra life saved me? What am I taking damage from? No. No. Please. Okay. Holy crap. That was really close. If we didn't have extra life, would have just died there. So we need to get out of here ASAP. I'm not even sure what I was taking damage from. Probably cursed rock. Thank goodness for extra life. You're telling me. Coming here was an objectively bad decision. It's just one that I made because I'm lazy, and instead of searching for the spells and things that I would need to make it easy to be here, I'm just going to tough it out instead of aimlessly searching for more spells. But hunting for the spells that I need would be the objectively smarter thing to do. I'm more impatient than I am intelligent, I'll tell you that. Shouldn't be very far now. I'm getting pretty close to where he lives. There he is. I see his health bar now. That means he's somewhere over here, just off screen. I want to reveal more of the area. I'm going to kind of just cast some of these and move some of these enemies before we fight them, because we'll need to move while we fight them. We don't want to run backwards into a polymorph wizard. I'm just going to take some time to light up the area before we get any closer. Create some tunnels that we can move around in. Whoa, that's a lot of deadly heals. We don't need them. Don't need anything in this at all. It's not even a good wand. He's in here. And there he is. Hello. Oh, I'm whiskeyed. I don't want to be whiskeyed. I don't want to be inaccurate while fighting this dude. Need to get the whiskey off. I'm not sure where the whiskey came from at all. But I know it's gonna mean that we kill ourselves if we have it. There we go. We want to shoot the purple orbs on this guy. The red orbs will hurt us. That's one orb. Lucky he got stuck on terrain. Usually he's pretty good at moving around it, but get pretty lucky this time. Wait for that orb to come back around. We're lucky this one's pretty dumb. Can be a pretty scary enemy. Now that the purple orbs are gone, we can damage him directly. It's 3 faces. We just blasted right through the second face, went straight to the third one. Got a lucky shot. There you go. Hallelujah. he drops a solving the game, which we don't need right now. But we do want this, and we do want this, and we do want one of these. Yeah, he's not too hard. As long as you're prepared, nothing is too hard in this game. The reason why this area has been so difficult is because I came unprepared. Wand refresh is really cool. It allows you to use portions of your wand as storage, so you have more space to put things, which is very, very, very useful. This spell, we're not going to use it for now, but it's part of making some of the extremely high damage wands that you can make later. This spell is one of the easiest spells that you can use to make wands extremely high damage, which you can also alternate with this. Both of them are inferior to add trigger, which looks like a little star, but they're effectively the same. Add expiration trigger, add timer, and add trigger mostly work the same way. Let's use this one. I don't even need that. You can kind of exploit them. So the way that add trigger works, it turns any projectile into a trigger projectile. And if you don't, for some reason, and I don't know the details on how this works, but when you turn a projectile into a projectile with trigger, if you don't actually give it a spell to trigger, it kind of creates like a weird, unique kind of projectile, and any modifiers that are in between that projectile and the add trigger modifier will be free. So you can put, once I can get back to an area where I can edit wands, I can put every single one of these modifiers on a wand and cast them all for free, which will be very good. That's lava. A lot of it. More south than I thought that we were. Normally play with a map, but no map today. No map, no Noiting. Noiting is a website, it's just noiting.com. You can plug in the seed for your world and it will give you a bunch of information about your current seed. So you can look ahead at what every holy mountain will have. Even the shape of some of the biomes, what each holy mountain will sell, even the fungal shifts, even the alchemic precursor, which you can use to create infinite gold. We'll even tell you how to make a liquid that lets you make healthium. Healthium is, the way to make healthium is randomized each run, so without Noiting, you have to do a bunch of experimentation, and you probably will never find out how to make it. With Noiting, you can just know. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll have a world seed where you can make healthium out of common materials. So it'll be like dirt, moss, and freezing liquid, and then you just mix these easy to find materials and create a health potion. health potion that's extremely strong, because you only need 1 pixel of healthium on the ground, and you can stand in it and it will continuously heal you. So once you make healthium, you have effectively an infinite source of healing. Which we don't need in our run. We already have an infinite source of healing, but something good to know. Want to see something cool? You can do mushrooms in this game. Whee! I'm tripping balls, man. Whoa. If I was to eat more mushrooms, the visual effects would get more intense too. And if you eat enough mushrooms, fungal shifts will begin occurring, which permanently transmutes one type of material into another random type of material, affected by what you're holding. So I could hold ambrosia and have a chance at turning all rock into this game in ambrosia, and basically just melt the map into a massive, massive ambrosia. Noita, that website I was talking about, tells you ahead of time what your fungal shifts would be, so you can actually do it strategically instead of randomly. So, for example, you can shift out polymorphine and unstable polymorphine and chaotic polymorphine, and then there's no polymorphine left in the world that could ever harm you. Oh, finally, teleport bolt. Yippee! Yippee! It's not a short teleport bolt, which we would prefer, but it is a teleport bolt nonetheless. Very happy. Happy, happy, happy. Now we're moving around. Now traveling quickly. Don't need that. Don't need all of these. Alright, now we can build a wand with add trigger. Or add timer in this case. So, maybe something like this. I prefer short range homing, but homing is good, especially when it's free. Free. Correct. That's a machine gun wand. Yes, sir. Any additional modifiers we want to throw out? Maybe... Oh, not here. Alright, now that we have a teleport bolt, happy to go try the alternative world again. Moving around a lot faster now. If we can find Nola, that would be nice. We didn't get one from the Komisoma's legs. He'll often drop Nola. So, we'll have to go to an alternate world and maybe kill him again. See if we can't find Nola Bolt. What Nola will do for us is it makes any projectile's lifetime 1 frame. So instead of casting this bolt that travels all the way over here, it'll just go from like here to here. And then we can cast it really, really quickly, and it will actually make us end up traveling much faster. Now, you gotta remember that when we're in an alternate world, we do not want to use the teleports. We do not want to use the portals, because those purple portals, because it'll take us back to the main world. That's the mistake we made earlier. Fuck you, rats. Rat-tat-tat. Get bombed. That thing that just spawned, it's because I kicked that statue. If you kick 3 statues and kill 3 of those guys, it'll give you a broken spell, which you can then repair at the anvil in the hissing face, which gives you a portal, which then you need to go to the green area and use the statues that are pointing in directions to find the center of where the 4 statues are pointing. Cast the spell that you repaired, and it'll give you a portal to somewhere special. Oops, accidentally clicked off the screen. This is much faster than how we were going, but there are certainly different levels of speed. Once I can find a Nola bolt and a chainsaw, I will be traveling so quickly that my character will begin to make airplane noises. One of my favorite Easter eggs. Good music, that one. Oh, yeah, I see. I see what you mean, that one. I never considered it like that. But it does make like a slightly different noise each time. It almost kind of is like music. Industrial techno? Hell yeah. Like that guy who makes memes where he takes like machines and makes techno out of them. That guy's funny. Travel, travel, travel. Although, if we hadn't found this teleport bolt, it would have taken us much, much longer. Alright. Back in the alternate world, do not go in the portal. Do not go in the portal. Must dig through to the holy mountain. Hello, Scoutatus. Goodbye, Scoutatus. I don't really want any of these. Let's just go to the next holy mountain. The reason why we're not going to reroll? The gods mad at you? Yeah. I keep destroying their holy mountains, they don't like that. That's alright though. All that really means for me is that I get a free loot bag at the end, at each holy mountain. Scoutatos can be very scary if you don't have a high damage wand like I do, or a high health bar, but I'm not really scared of Scoutatos. As you can see, he's really not an issue for me, he's just a couple extra free gold essentially. Ooh, critical hit plus. I'll take that. So before you get Scoutatos, they'll send 3 Stavari at you. So if you do plan on breaking a holy mountain, you either need to not break a holy mountain until you're only like 3 away from the end, so you avoid facing Scoutatos, or be prepared to face Scoutatos. I did the first option. I didn't break a holy mountain until I was past the green level, which means I only had to fight Stavari 3 times. could make peace with my gods, that's a perk, but I don't want that as much as I want Trick Greed. No, he's kind of like a boss, I suppose. He's a mini-boss. Like a small teleport bolt, that's what we want. Very good. I don't even want that. This is much better. That's Scoutatos. He's servant of the gods. He's the policeman. I believe the word literally translates to like policeman or something. So the reason... Oh, yes! Chainsaw! Okay, good. The reason why we're not picking up everything and not re-rolling to find things that we want is because eventually we'll be able to break the re-rolls. If we pass by 36 holy mountains and then go back and re-roll each of them once, this number will double each time until it gets to an absurdly large number, and then it will break and start showing random numbers, and after that, rerolls are free. And when rerolls are free, we can reroll as many times as we want to find as many stacks of the exact perks that we want, and that's when the game becomes really, really crazy. That's when I go God mode. Yes, indeed. Now we're moving. This is much faster. Whee! We love chainsaw. Chainsaw's a very useful spot. You can make machine gun rounds very easily with it. It reduces cast delay and sets recharge time to 0 exactly. Make ones like this that fire every frame. I'll take this. Come on. Reduce recharge time, very good. Hope no one have epilepsy, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, me too. But I don't have epilepsy, that's for sure. I don't think many people with epilepsy are watching streams though. Luckily, I think most people will avoid that because it can be pretty uncontrolled. I wouldn't know. I don't know anybody with epilepsy. Not at least the type that's activated by flashing lights. know some people who have seizures, but it's either from sickle cell or from other conditions, not like that kind of epilepsy. Electricity immunity. We like that. We do want necromancy at some point. We might as well grab it now. We won't be using this for a long time, if ever, but it can come in handy. Yabba. Necromancy is interesting. It, as it by itself, is not extremely powerful, but you can do some interesting things with it. Some stuff I haven't tried yet, but my cousin was telling me that you can use necromancy to duplicate wizard corpses to the point that you can consume enough of their flesh to gain permanent invincibility from being polymorphed, which would be very convenient. I would like that very much. As you can see, we've reached a speed to the point that when we fly around, we make airplane noises. I have now reached supersonic speed. I have become a jet. Oh, running out of mana though. Gotta wait for a minute. We go to the next alternate world. There's. Yeah, I am looking like a peasant, you're right. How dare I? Maybe we should still use a little bit of ambrosia. Reduce the risk we're taking here. Get rid of this oil off of us first. That oil stain off. Come on, get off of me. Oh no. I got more oil on me. Get out of here. There we go. Dang it. Accidentally spawned in more oil. Alright, whatever. We have plenty of ambrosia. Let's just do this. Let's just use it. Ambrosia is very useful. It makes you immune to all damage. It's exactly as useful as it sounds. One caveat to using Ambrosia is that you cannot drink it. You can only apply it as a stain. Most liquids work either if you pour them on yourself or if you drink them. Ambrosia will make you sick if you drink it. I'm free! Oh. So that's what I was talking about. Bosses just spawn in alternate worlds. It can be really scary. Stay close to the ground. Dig here. We got to throw this extra speed up on this black hole so it moves a little faster. But why with that everyone can escape anytime you like? Yes. That being said, when the issue is that when I'm traveling that quickly, I can't foresee the boss. You know, I end up on top of it, and some of the bosses that spawn can instantly kill you. So I can be dead long before I can react. It's not like I can see them and then run away. I'm traveling and then I'm dead. That's it. So... the old polymorph. The one connoisseur can spawn, and he has polymorph bolts. No! Ah! I thought it was under the... Oh, dang it. My Blackful just ate the Kiviskivi. I wanted that. Tinker with wands everywhere. Finally! Now we don't need to run back to places to tinker. We can just do it anywhere we want. What's dang it? What happened? Tinker with wands everywhere is awesome. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome. When you live without a dream. Oh yeah, the Kiviskivi. The Kiviskivi translate to like fire orb or something. It's interesting little item. It lights things on fire, it also protects you from fire. But the reason we want it is because it's a component for making a sun. And we want to make a black hole sun. We're going to need an Ukoskivi, a Kiviskivi, and some other things. Let's take Breathless. Yeah, you can make a sun in this game. You can also make a black sun. You can also make a yeah, there's a lot. Oh my god, summon Takasalva. That's an extremely rare spell. You know what we can do with this? I'll show you what we can do with this. This will blow your mind. Alright, let's see. So we're gonna need this. Let's see. We're gonna actually... Yeah. But I don't want to deconstruct the healing wand. It would be easier to use Gamma to make the wand that I'm about to build. Well, let's just set these here for now. We want Summon Takasova. We're actually going to want this chainsaw. We're going to duo cast these. Actually, we won't need to because we're using Tau. Maybe I can add mana. And, yeah. That'd be good. We probably want to wrap it. Let's do this. And then we go like this. But we don't have enough mana. Still need more mana. And now I have a bunch of wands. And I can kill these wands. And now there's a ton of wands. And I can just get all of the spells that I want. Yay! Yippee! Isn't that funny? Yeah. Alright, yeah, we want this. We want short. Oh, let's drop the one we want to keep so it doesn't get lost. Let's put this let's put our black hole wand right here for now. There's still more that we need to do to enable God mode. This will give us a lot of offense, but it's not going to give us all the defense that we want. We want short range homing. Get rid of homing. Short range homing is better. More reliable. You know, yeah, we still only have 1,000 health. And still get killed by stuff. Like physics damage, that sort of thing. But we can find some of the utility that we need in some of these wands here. That's for sure. But we still have plenty of, shall we say, quests to do. The next quest that we have is breaking the reroll machines. That's the next thing that we want to do. Okay. Okay, we got pretty lucky there. One of them cast a spell that could have killed us. So we got pretty lucky. I was just saying we could still die to physics damage and then almost took enough physics damage to die. Venomous Curse. We'll take Venomous Curse. We can just go ahead and throw that on here. 2 Venomous Curses. We'll take 2 Venomous Curses. Throw that on here too. 3? I don't think we need 3. That's probably fine. 4. A lot of the same one got spawned from this. I got to go for now. Thanks for the stream. Oh, thanks for coming and watching, man. It was fun. It's always good to see you, MP. Hope you have a good night. Put that Nola. Let me have it. Yes. Give me the Nola. Alright, that's probably enough Takasova farming for now. One ghost. I'll take one glue ball. Just one. Might need that later. We have enough recharge times and add manas, pretty much. Which is mostly what we're casting Takasova for. There's a bug with the Takasova that if you spawn too many, they'll kind of just keep spawning. It appears to be what we're experiencing now. Many. I don't really need this anymore. With this. more healthy. It's more better. Finally, a gambling pick. Of course, we take perk lottery. Nice. And it immediately activates itself. Wonderful. Yes, low recoil. We want that as well. We already have faster projectiles, because we were planning on picking up low recoil at some point. Oh my word. Oh my word. Quite possibly the best always cast ever? Right. Quite possibly the best always cast we could possibly find. Like, wow. Like, why? Have you ever been a drunk and you know it? Have you ever had to flip your opponent? Infinite healing, without the need of any spell whatsoever. Yo. Healing that bypasses phasing and doesn't harm us. That's incredible. Incroyable. And we can probably just throw this and this one. Yeah. Why did it shoot the glue bomb? Oh, it's a random wand. Okay. Gotcha. It's random. Still very good, obviously. We're never going to need boomerang again, so we can get rid of that. All the healing we want. Much more effective healing. We have electricity immunity. So we can throw electric charge on this bad boy. For more damage. Wonderful. Might as well have them rain on this, huh? Well, alright then. That was the connoisseur. Very scary. A near-death experience. That was a near miss. Let's just travel underground. Bam. We're getting a bit tired, which is why we didn't consider that we might be running straight into polymorphy. So, let's get to the next holy mountain and then save and quit. This is getting pretty late. Alright. Thanks so much, everybody who was or is watching. Hope everyone has a good night.